Everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Lipman. He makes house calls.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
Notre Dame football here on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. Tim Kinshriff with you on this Friday evening from Rockford Lutheran High School. If you don't believe me on how nice the field is, despite all the rain, right now you can go to quincyjournal.com and click on QJTV, and they are streaming this game live with this audio. So if you don't believe my effusive praise of how lush this field is, despite all the rain we've had here in the Rockford area this week, then you can get on quincyjournal.com and QJTV and see for yourself and watch the game and listen to the game at the same time, for as long as you can put up with me, that is. So should be an interesting night here in Rockford, Illinois. The Lutheran Crusaders have purple and black as their main uniforms. They have black helmets with white numbers on each side of the helmet, and purple jerseys with black pants, black numbers with white trim. QND in the road white uniforms with gold pants, gold numbers, golden trim, and of course the golden domes. And I think they've already had the coin flip, but they're just going to bring the captains and the coaches to the center of the field and reenact it for the folks here in Rockford. Pretty good crowd on hand. A lot of Quincy folks have made the trip, a lot more than we were expecting, let's just put it that way. About a 4.5-hour trip, a little bit more than that. There was a couple of bumps in the road along the way, but it's just amazing when there's a fork in the road, how many people get in one lane and then realize after they've done so, uh-oh, I need to be in the other spot. So we ran into that a couple of times, but other than that, and then the fine folks at MapQuest got the directions wrong as well. So other than that, we've still found the place in about 4.5 hours. So we got that going for us, which is nice. But we'll see who gets the ball first here, and I would imagine if Rockford Lutheran wins the toss, they want to get the ball in the hands of their stud running back, James Robinson, as quickly as possible, and I would think QND will want to maybe take the ball right away and see what the Lutheran defense is all about. Last year's Lutheran Ball Club averaged 43 points a game, but gave up 22, and the person I was communicating with all week said that Lutheran's defense is the question mark. So and I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to pull it out here, and maybe we can talk about it at halftime. But Rockford Lutheran's in the Big Northern West Conference, and I'm not exactly which teams are in that conference off the top of my head. But I find it interesting that a lot of the Crusader games turned out to be 40-20 affairs. So I'm just not sure what kind of competition Lutheran plays. And for whatever reason, even though QND in the playoffs last year hosted both Coal City and Peatone, which, trust me, are closer to Rockford than Quincy, and how that all unfolded and how those schools avoided coming to Rockford and ended up coming to Quincy. You looked at the competition that Rockford Lutheran had in the playoffs last year, and before they took on Geneseo, you were kind of scratching your head like, really? They were playing that team at this point? But then Geneseo handled them 35-7 in the semifinals to advance to the state championship game. And it's going to be real interesting to see what happens here this evening. QND has won the toss and will receive, and they will be moving with the sun at their back as this field runs east-west, and the setting sun is directly to our left. So that's going to be making the idea of reading numbers on the field because of the glare kind of a exercise in futility here. So we're going to have to rely on the scoreboard, which is to our right out the side window, to make sure we have the right ball on situation and down and distance for that matter as well. The chain gang is on this side of the field, so hopefully that will help out a little bit here. I'm already making excuses, folks. We haven't even kicked off the season yet, and the excuses are flowing freely. But a beautiful night for football right now. Hopefully the weather will hold, and we can get this game in without any delays or without any thunderstorms. I hear that Quincy had a thunderstorm this afternoon. We did not run into any rainy weather on the trip here. And we are starting this game at 6:30 to hopefully avoid any severe thunderstorms here in the Rockford area this evening. Lutheran has the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line. New rule in high school football this year. You cannot have your heels on the 35-yard line. The ball on the 40, you cannot have your heels 5 yards deeper. So we'll see how strictly they enforce that, not only at the beginning of games, but say there's blowouts involved. It'll be interesting to see just how much that rule is enforced. And right now there's no linesman standing on the 35-yard line to make sure that toes or shoes aren't touching that 35-yard line. But Lutheran has the ball on the tee, and they are kicking it away, and away we go. It's a nice strong kick angled toward the left. Dalen Anders is back to receive and takes it on the fly, and he'll take it right up the middle of the field. He will stutter and be dropped right away on a nice form tackle by Logan Davis. Anders ran looking to make a move in the middle of the field and couldn't find a move to make, and Logan Davis just ran right into Dalen Anders and brought him down with a sure tackle. So not a very crisp return for QND, and it's 1st and 10 Raiders, and we'll have to wait and see exactly where the ball is positioned, and it looks like it will be right at about the 15-yard line that Dalen Anders got tackled at to give this starting position for QND, and it looks like it's more like the 13-yard line than anything else. And it will be the I formation for QND. Logan Arns will be the fullback in front of Dalen Anders. Max Neverlow will take his first varsity snap from Kellen Barnes. Turns, gives it to Dalen Anders. Between guard and tackle, he will be pushed forward. Oh, a quick whistle as they blew that play dead as Anders was trying to fight off the tackle. He was hit by 2 different Crusaders, but they blew that whistle quick, and Anders picked up a gain of about 2, and it will be 2nd and 8 for QND. So the Raiders will take over, 2nd and 8. Autzen Tappy is tight end to the near side. I formation behind Max Bemberlow. Receiver split to both sides. Rockford Lutheran showing blitz from the right side. They pitch it wide to Anders, trying to turn the corner. Waits, makes a cut, steps through 1 tackle, but only lunges forward for a gain of about 2 more. Not a very crisp play there as Anders tried to wait for traffic to clear, and really it didn't. Good pursuit by Rockford Lutheran. And Anders picks up about 2 more. He's inside the 20-yard line at about the 18. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for QND, and they are still inside their own 20-yard line. Brian Copley brings the play in from the sideline. And it looks like QND will go to a 2-receiver set. Copley split to the far side, ball in the near hash. Carson Kroshinsky is in at the near side receiver. Bemberlow, 3-step drop, looks for the slant, throws, and it's incomplete. 3 Crusader defenders in the area of Kroshinsky, and the ball fell harmlessly incomplete. So the Raiders go 3 and out on their first possession, and that will be a big confidence boost for Rockford Lutheran. If their defense is the weaker part of their ball club, to hold the Raiders to a 3-and-out, may give them a boost here in the early going. And now that dynamic offense with James Robinson may get their hands on the ball depending on what they do with the punt return. Brian Copley will kick it away for the Raiders. Snapback is true. Copley takes his time, gets the kick away. It's a high, short kick. And a fair catch called for inside the Raider 45. And a hit was made by the QND player. I believe that was Ben Welper who made a hit anyway. And a late flag called on Ben Welper as the player made the fair catch. And there was a hesitation by both players, and the Welper went ahead and hit the return man. And about 5-6 seconds after the play, they threw the flag, and it was somebody from the far side. And I can tell you he was influenced by Rockford Lutheran's sideline to throw that flag. So the Raider coaching staff is indicating that they thought it was a improper fair catch signal. And that's going to take the ball from the Raider 43 to the Raider 28. So a short field to work with for Rockford Lutheran. And a 15-yard penalty on QND for a late hit on the fair catch receiver. So here comes the spread offense of Rockford Lutheran. They go 2-by-2. Ball on the near hash. Sidecar left is James Robinson. Jalen Horton is the quarterback. Barshout the signals, takes, and gives to Robinson. He looks for a hole, sidesteps one tackler, but is gang tackled after a gain of about 2 or 3. Kellen Barnes in on the play around the ankles. Also in on the play for QND was number 50, Nathan Turpin, and at least one other Raider. Gain of 2 for Robinson. It will be 2nd and 8 for Rockford Lutheran. They go with the hurry-up offense here. 2-by-2 the receiver. Sidecar left again, Robinson. High snap, Horton takes. Wants to throw. Throws to quick out here to the receiver. And the pass is caught, and the receiver brought down. It's Austin Sikora, who I was told before the game wasn't going to play. And sure enough, he's out there. Well, no, you know what? That's a different player. He's wearing number 2, but his helmet says 19. But number 19 is listed on the roster. So, but it's a short gain on the play of about 3. It'll bring up 3rd and about 5. Well, they're saying only a gain of a yard. Now Horton's going to throw again. Wide open middle of the field. The pass is caught by Nate Weeding. Weeding runs through one tackle, takes it towards the goal line, and he'll be stopped where? Well, one official was signaling touchdown over on the far side. The one official called a touchdown as Nate Weeding, a big 6'4 receiver, was open in the middle of the field in the area between the linebackers and the secondary. And Weeding makes the catch and scores the touchdown. So a 25-yard touchdown pass from Horton to Weeding. And it is a 6-0 Crusader lead. Snapback ball down, kick is up, and it looks wide left, but it's good. It's snuck inside the near upright. So a short field for Rockford Lutheran after the personal foul penalty on QND. They go 28 yards in 3 plays, and it's Rockford Lutheran 7, QND nothing. Back in 1 minute here on WTAD and on Quincy Journal TV. They have room to run. It's Parker Kinsel, I believe, and Kinsel will get it up to about the 27-yard line or so. As Parker Kinsel was the up man to the left side on the outside of Dalen Anders, and Kinsel, with a very nice return, takes it up the middle of the field and gets it to about the 30-yard line, as it turns out. And it will be 1st and 10 QND, where Rockford Lutheran leading by the score of 7-0 on a 25-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Horton to Nate Weeding. So the Raiders, who went 3 and out, are back on offense, and they're going to go with the I formation. 2 receivers, tight end far side. Ball in the far hash. Max Memberlo turns, fakes, still has it. Looking, fires it over the middle, and it's intercepted by Rockford Lutheran. Trying to hit L.B. Cornwell was Max Memberlo, and the pass picked off by number 6, and it was Joe Caravello who made the interception for Rockford Lutheran. So the Raiders have run 4 plays, punted, and turned it over, and another short field for Rockford Lutheran. 28 yards on their first possession. They'll take over at their own 47. Will Lutheran this time. Crusaders already lead at 7-0. So the Raiders trying to answer with a pass play of their own, and Max Memberlo's pass is picked off. So 7-0 Lutheran, and they take over at their own 47. Out of the spread, Jalen Horton with Williams to the right side, and Horton's going to throw. Wanted to just dump it off, throws the middle screen off the fingertips of the receiver, incomplete. Trying to hit number 32, Tim Kohler on the play. And it will be 2nd and 10 for Rockford Lutheran. Williams from his running back position, sidecar right of Horton, just kind of drifted out, and the Raider defense went with him, but there was good coverage in the middle of the field on the screen, and the pass fell incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Horton takes his high snap, throws it to the side, and it's dropped, it's loose, and it's picked up by James Robinson as he took it away from Luke Frieden, and that was literally a sideways pass. Well, they are going to call it an incomplete pass. They're going to call it an incomplete pass, so it will be 3rd and 10 for Rockford Lutheran. That was about as close as you can come to a backwards pass and not have it called. Empty backfield, 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Robinson, the slot receiver here near side. Pressure from the backside by Turpin. Horton throws, it's complete to Robinson. He's tackled immediately by Parker Kinsel. Parker Kinsel one-on-one with James Robinson. Robinson made the catch inside Raider territory, but Kinsel wrapped him up and brought him down for a 5-yard gain. And it will be 4th and 5 for Rockford Lutheran. And we'll see if they want to punt it away or if they go for it here with the ball at the Raider 48-yard line. It looks like they're going to punt it, and handling that chore will be Adam Pearson. Gain of about 4 on the pass completion to Robinson. And now Pearson will punt it away. He's also the place kicker for Rockford Lutheran. And they are late, are the Crusaders, and they're going to have to burn a timeout to have the right personnel on the field for this punt formation. So it will be a 30-second timeout here at Lutheran High School. The Crusaders lead Quincy Notre Dame 7-0, and back in 30 seconds here on WTAD.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Journal.com. Click on QJ TV, and you can watch the video of this game and listen to our audio as well. Rockford Lutheran leading Quincy Notre Dame 7-0. Crusaders could not take advantage of the interception by the defense of Lutheran, and the Raiders will punt it away. Snap back to Pearson is wobbly but true, takes his time and gets the kick away. It's an end over end kick, middle of the field. Parker Kinsel backs up, and as it goes through his hands, it's loose. It's still loose, and it's what? I think they're going to call a muff. Logan Orange was the first player over to make the recovery as he out-battled 2 Crusader players, but Parker Kinsel had it go right between both arms and fall harmlessly to the turf and bound away from him. And let's see if they rule it a muff and give the Raiders the ball right where it was muffed, or if it will be the Raider ball inside their own 10-yard line. There's a flag down on the play, and we'll see what the penalty is. The flag is laying on the far hash, and 3 officials are talking it over. And it looks like they're speaking to the Rockford Lutheran captain. Holding call on Notre Dame, and it'll be half the distance to the goal. And we'll see where the Raiders will start this possession, but I will say inside their own 5. So the Raiders have had the ball for 4 offensive plays. They've gone 3 and out and thrown an interception. So 4 plays, 4 yards for QND. Anders has 4 yards on 2 carries, an incomplete pass, and an interception. Well, it looks like the penalty was declined. If they marked it off about a yard. So it'll be 1st and 10 QND with the ball. Well, they're going to mark it at the 2, so they must have marked off about a 1-yard penalty on the Raiders. So the Raiders backed up to their own 2, 1st and 10, trailing 7-0 here with just under 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. Bembolo under center. Long count for the Raiders. And they get the defensive end to jump. The defensive end on the near side jumped, or at least went into the neutral zone. And it's going to be on Rockford Lutheran. Penalty called on Nate Gully, who's playing left defensive end. So 1st and 5 QND with the ball out to the 7-yard line. First penalty on Lutheran. The Raiders have 2 penalties for 16 yards. One, a roughing the punt returner on a fair catch. So 1st and 5 QND from their own 7, trailing 7-0. Still under 8 minutes to play in this first quarter. Here's a give to one of the fullbacks, Kinsel, and he is form tackled by Logan Davis. Davis put his helmet right between the 3 and the 2 of Parker Kinsel and just drove Kinsel backwards. So no gain on the play. So it will be 2nd and 5 for QND. And so far, if defense is the weak point for Lutheran on the first 5 offensive plays for QND, they have not shown any deficiencies. So 2nd and 5 for QND. Well, no, they gave Kinsel a yard according to the scoreboard. So gain of 1. It will be 2nd and 4 for QND from their own 9. Power eye, Kinsel comes in motion towards the near sideline. And they will pitch it wide to Anders. Anders looking for a seal block, doesn't get it, cuts it inside, and he'll have short yardage on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down for QND. Out past the 10-yard line, looks like he got it to the 11-yard line, did Anders. That's a gain of 2, and it brings up about 3rd and 2 for QND. Anders has 3 carries for 6 yards, and basically Lutheran's defense is just keying on 26 and figuring 26 will take us to the ball, so just follow him. And 3 out of 6 plays, that's been the correct formula. Jordan Obert brings the play in from the sideline. He'll be one of the receivers here for QND. And Obert will split to the far side. Power eye, tight end far side. On 3rd and 2, they will give it to Anders. Anders will slip through a hole, and he'll have the first down and be wrapped up at about the 16-yard line. So a gain of about 7 for Dalen Anders and a first down for the Raiders. Their first down of the ballgame. Patient run by Dalen Anders around left tackle, as you thought he was maybe going to bounce it to the sideline, but instead cut it in the middle of the field, and that was the correct decision. And it gave the Raiders a first down and gave Anders a gain of about 7. Max Bembolo, the quarterback, gets under center. Kellen Barnes, power eye for QND. Kinsel and Arns are the up backs. Anders the deep back. Pitch it wide to Anders. Looks to get to the outside, and he will get to the corner, and he'll get about a handful of yards. Actually, a little bit more than that. He got close to 10. That was basically student body right for QND. And the fullbacks, in this case Arns and Kinsel, did their jobs, kind of got the corner sealed and gave Anders a chance to try and turn the corner. And Dalen Anders picked up about 8. It'll be a 2nd and 2 for QND. 2nd and 2 Raiders with the ball at about the 28-yard line. Power eye, Austin Tappy, tight end far side. So receiver split to the far side. They run the counter play, give it to Anders. Stutter step, makes a cut, still going. He's got the first down, and he'll be tackled at about the 34-yard line for a gain of 6 more. So the Raiders run the counter, and again, another patient run by Dalen Anders. And he's making the right decisions on these cuts, at least here on the last 2 or 3 carries. He's waiting for blocks to develop and reading those blocks well and making the correct cut and picking up positive yardage. And it looks like Dalen Anders wants to come out after this play. So the Raiders are going to go with what offense here? It looks like they're going to go single back, double tight end. with Ben Welper in, tight end near side, Tappy tight end far side, receiver split to both sides, and we have a messed up play, and Beverlo took the snap and plowed forward. Half the line for both teams stood there, and the other half went into a rugby scrum, and somehow Max Beverlo just squirted forward, picked up positive yardage, picked up about 2, and that was just the ugliest play you'd ever want to see. I don't know if it was on first sound or what, but it was a quick count for the Raiders, and half the lines for both teams just stood there. So it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Raiders with the ball. Now that the sun is behind clouds, we can actually make out some yards. Bruce. Yeah. Somebody turned the power off of the power. Welcome back to Rockford, Illinois, everyone. I apologize. Somebody turned off the power tier to the press box. So we had to reboot everything. And while we were gone, Dalen Anders was stopped for no gain on a run. And then a pass play to Jordan Obert only netted about 4 yards. So the Raiders are punting the ball away. And it's a fair catch here on the 40-yard line as Connor Daniel punted the ball away. And a very short kick for Daniel of about, 18, 20 yards. High floating kick. So Rockford Lutheran with a flag down here in the middle of the field to our right, but the Raiders have gotten only 1 first down here, and it looked like they were establishing some momentum. Then we had the botched play as Max Beverlo went to run a play, and like I said during the course of the broadcast, half the people moved on both lines. Beverlo was able to squirt forward for 2 yards. Then Dalen Anders was stuffed for no gain, and then a short pass is kind of a tunnel screen here to the near side to Jordan Obert, but good coverage again by Lutheran and good pursuit. And Jordan Obert was stopped after a gain of about 4, brought up 4th and 4, and now a short punt to the Crusader 40, but it looks like there's a flag down on Rockford Lutheran, which is laying at the 33, and they're about to walk backwards. So it was 7 yards behind where the returner caught the ball, and it's going to take it inside the 25 to the 23. That's 10 yards. And now they're trying to make sure they do the right math. So it's a 15-yard penalty on Rockford Lutheran. We'll take the ball to the 18-yard line of Lutheran. 1st and 10 for the Crusaders. Rockford Lutheran leading this ball game 7-0 with 2:52 left to go in the first quarter. So the first poor field position for Rockford Lutheran. Their first possession started at the Raider 28. Next possession started at the Lutheran 47. And now the Crusaders are backed up to their own 18. They send Streeter in motion, who's wearing number 2, and he's wrapped up in the backfield on a nice play by Logan Orange. They tried to run a jet sweep with Streeter, and Streeter was tackled for a loss on the play. Or at least no gain on the play. Let's see where they finally spot it. Well, it's a loss of about 5 actually on the play, and it will be 2nd and 15 for Rockford Lutheran as Logan Orange just blitz that time and let Streeter run right in him. Now they set up middle screen. It's picked up by Ben Welper, who will take it to the house. Jalen Horton tried to throw a middle screen and just lofted it up, and Ben Welper picked it off and had a short run to goal line. And Ben Welper gives the Raiders a chance to tie this game up as Rockford Lutheran tried a middle screen that was nowhere close, and Horton was under immediate pressure. I think Kellen Barnes was back putting pressure on Jalen Horton. And Ben Welper with a nice hands catch, and he just loped into the end zone from inside 10 yards. So with QND's Ben Nord trying to tie things up here, QND has narrowed it right now to a 7-6 deficit. Ben Nord handling the kicking duties here tonight with Cooper Reese playing soccer back in Quincy. Snap back rolls. Landon Hemming has to pick it up. Has Arns out, to try and receive the pass, but it short hops Logan Arns on the outside, so the Raiders do not tie it up as the snap back to Landon Hemming bounced, and Nord and Hemming had no rhythm going, and the point after is missed. But Ben Welper's interception return puts the Raiders on the board. 7-6, Rockford Lutheran leads. Back in 30 seconds here on WTAD and on QJTV. Right, 2:20 left to go in the first quarter, and QND's Ben Welper with an interception return on a middle screen has gotten the Raiders back into it. It's a 7-6 ball game as the point after was missed because of a bad snap. So 7-6 Lutheran leads. QND, 2:20 left to go, first quarter. So Rockford Lutheran got backed up in their own territory after a 15-yard penalty on a punt return. Play one was a jet sweep that was read by Logan Arns for a 5-yard loss. And then an interception by Ben Welper puts the Raiders on the board. Nord will kick it off, and it's a high kick middle of the field. And it will be picked up by the return man for Rockford Lutheran. He's got a full head of steam and then is knocked down just outside the 30-yard line. Looked like there was a crease there for a moment, but tackled on the play was number 34, Zach Harris. Harris with a return of about 15 yards. And Rockford Lutheran will take over at their own 32.5-yard line. First and 10, Rockford Lutheran leading here 7-6. And we still have about 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. So Lutheran right back on the field offensively. Jalen Horton making his first varsity start at quarterback, and he has attempted 6 passes, and he just had one picked off. Now Rockford Lutheran having an offensive lineman late to report, and they had to wait for him to get out on the field. And now they bring the slot man Streeter in motion again. They fake to him, give it to Robinson. Robinson sidesteps a couple of defenders, gets it past the 35 to about the 36. So right now it's a gain of about 3 for James Robinson. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Rockford Lutheran. Actually put the ball at about the 37, so a gain of 4 for Robinson. No huddle offense for the Crusaders. High snap, Orton corrals it, brings it to the near sideline. Trying to find the corner, he'll be wrapped up and stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Ben Welper again with good pursuit, but he had help that time from Logan Hilgenbrink and also by Mr. Turpin, Nathan Turpin. So good pursuit by the Raiders. A high snap kind of threw the rhythm off of that play, but a loss of 1 for Jalen Horton. And it will be 3rd and about 8 for Rockford Lutheran. Out of the spread, 2x2 the receiver, sidecar right is Robinson. Horton takes the snap, looks left, comes back left, fires, and it's through the hands of the receiver and complete, just a little bit wide of the intended receiver, who tried to make a nice hands catch, but the pass was just too far right. Trying to make the play was Luke Anderson, but it's an incomplete pass and a 3 and out for Rockford Lutheran. So 3 for 7 is Jalen Horton for 30 yards. 25 of those 30 yards came on the pass play to Nate Weeding. Both teams have 10 players on the field for this punt, as each team sends a player in and they line up right across from each other on this punt by Mr. Pearson. Snap back is a little low but true, and Pearson gets the punt away. It's a high kick middle of the field. The Raiders get away from it, and it bounces sideways, now bounces back for QND, and it will be at about the 34-yard line, but we have yet another flag on the play, and it's laying on the far side between the hash mark and the Lutheran bench. 1:10 left to go first quarter, 7-6 Rockford Lutheran leads. A lot of penalties behind the play here this evening. they're going to call holding on QND. Will that give Rockford Luth a first down? Is it a post-punt penalty? And it is a post-punt penalty. So the Raiders will not take over at their own 34. It will be inside their own 25 that QND will start this possession. That's the 5th penalty of the game, and I'm going to say at least 4 of them have come behind the play. So it is Raider ball, but 10 yards closer to their defensive goal line. 7-6, Rockford Lutheran leads. 70 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. QND's touchdown scored by Ben Welper on an interception return. Picked off a middle screen and just waltzed into the end zone from inside 10 yards. Jordan Overt will be split to the near side. LB Cornwell split to the far side. I formation. Looks like Kinsel is the fullback in front of Dalen Anders. They run the counter, give it to Anders. Looks for running room. Bounces off the pile, stretches, drives, and he did a lot of work to pick up about 2 yards that time, talking about Dalen Anders. Anders gets 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 for QND. Anders has 29 yards on 8 carries here in the ballgame. Could be the final play of this first quarter as Carson Kroshinski brings it in from the sideline. The Raider offense huddling on the far hash, and now Max Bemberlow and Kroshinski join the huddle. Cornwell split far side, Kroshinski split near side, I formation with Anders to deep back. Max Bemberlow under center, Kellen Barnes. And Bemberlow gives it to the up man, and it's Hilgenbrink, and Hilgenbrink gets it past the 30-yard line to about the 31, picked up about 4 on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd and a short 3 for QND, and that will do it for the first quarter. We've played 12 minutes, and it will be Rockford Lutheran 7, QND 6 at the end of 12 minutes. Back with the second quarter in 1 minute here on QJTV and WTAD.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Oh, that story looks good. Let me click that link. What? Locked? Pay site? Why do they link stories that I can't see? I'm not paying for that.
All of your online news at your fingertips is free on QuincyJournal.com. Quincy Journal also has a mobile site that fits your smartphone perfectly. And have you taken a peek at QJTV, QND Lady Raiders, Quincy High Blue Devils, QND Raiders games and more, live on QJTV. For the latest in politics, community news, and more, free every day, it's QuincyJournal.com.
Leading QNC Notre Dame 7-6 after the first quarter. And the first play of the second quarter will be 3rd and short for QND. Ball is at the 37, and the Raiders need to get to about the 38, I believe, for a first down. They're having problems resetting the chains here on the near sideline. I'm looking at the radar picture according to my smartphone, and it looks like the storms are south of Rockford, south and east of Rockford. So hopefully we are going to stay away from any threatening weather. Oh, there's a cell to the west. So we'll see how that affects things here in Rockford. According to my phone, according to the Weather Channel, there might be storms here in the Rockford area at 9:15. Well, it's 7:05 now. Hopefully we can get this game in the next 2 hours. They are having problems resetting the chain, and they did it wrong. They did it wrong. It should be about 3rd and 1, but they reset the chains incorrectly. And some parents to our right, up against the fence behind the Raider bench, were really letting them know it. Well, I'm sorry I wasn't speaking there, folks, but basically the official was walking it off. He knows it's 3rd and 1, which is all well and good, but this series started at the 24, and they put the chains at the 32. They put the beginning part of the chains on where the quarter ended and then stretched it out 10 yards. They didn't go to where the drive began and then stretched it out. It should be 3rd and 2 from about the 32. Instead, they have the chains messed up. And I think they're going to give the Raiders 3rd and 2. They're just going to put the ball in the wrong spot. Well, one official has it figured out. They just have to try and explain it to the chain gang on how to set the chains. I guess it's the first game for everybody. It's the first game for everybody, so let's cut them some slack, at least here in the first half. But hopefully by the fourth quarter, everybody's kinks are straightened out, and we can go from there. So they have it right. And the sarcastic claps from the parents behind the fence, behind the QND bench. So 3rd and 2 for QND from the Raider 32. 7-6, Rockford Lutheran leads. We're about to have the first play of the second quarter. Kellen Barnes to center. Power eye behind the quarterback, Max Bemberlow. Tappy tight end, far side. Give it to Anders. Anders tries to bounce it around the corner. He's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Good penetration that time by the linebacker for Rockford Lutheran. He did not allow Anders to kind of scoot to the outside the tackle area to try and make a move on a defender. Good play by the defense on the far hash. It's a loss of about 2, and it will be 4th and 4 for QND. So the Raiders still only have 1 first down offensively here in this ball game, but only trail 7-6. Lutheran only has 2 first downs, and one of those was on a turnover. Copley will punt it away this time for the Raiders, and it's a shank to the right side. Fair catch called for inside the Raider 50-yard line, or inside the 50-yard line on the Raider side of the 50. So a kick of about 18 yards, and it is 1st and 10, Rockford Lutheran from about the 48-yard line. Now, because of the construction of the new playing surface at QND, which hopefully was done in time for today's soccer games, but because of that construction, they've damaged the practice field as well as doing work on the game field, so the Raiders have had a short practice field, and their punts have gone about 20, 25 yards on the practice field. Out of the spread, they fake the jet sweep, give it to Robinson. Sidesteps one man, bounces off a couple of tackles, pinballs around the corner. He's going to end up getting about 12 yards on the play. And that was just all want to by James Robinson. He got no help from his blockers there. He just bounced off the pile, made a Chuck Foreman spin, and got it to the corner. Chuck Foreman played in the 70s for you younger folks. And it's a first down for James Robinson as he picks up about 10 yards on the play. Only his 3rd carry of the ball game. And the 3rd first down for Rockford Lutheran. Out of the spread from the Raider 38. 1st and 10, Rockford Lutheran leading 7-6 are the Crusaders. Wharton takes the snap, looking far sideline the whole way. His pass is complete, and immediately the receiver is hit and dropped at about the Raider 35 for a gain of about 3. I guess if you're the Raider defense, you'll let Lutheran have that play all night if it only gains 3 yards. So a short gain. I have no idea who caught that pass, but a gain of 3, and now a handoff to Robinson. He's stacked up by his own blocker, runs into his quarterback, tries to turn the corner and gets 5, gets 7, and runs to a tackle out of bounds inside the Raider 30 at about the 28-yard line. That's a gain of about 8 yards. It was 2nd and 8, and it's very close to the first down. And they're going to call it a first down as they will mark the ball at about the 27-yard line. And Robinson that time had his fullback pushed into his legs. Then as he tried to get away from that, he ran into his quarterback Horton, still had enough gumption to get the corner turn and picked up 10 yards in the first down. Give it back to Robinson. Again, he gets around traffic on the corner, goes up the sideline, and is tackled inside the 15-yard line. And it looks like Robinson's tackled at about the 12-yard line. And that's a pickup of about 13 for James Robinson. He's just ripping off double-digit runs here. He went from 10 yards to 16 yards to 13 yards. So having 6 yards on 2 carries, Robinson now has 39 yards on 5 carries. Raiders trying to hustle in a defensive replacement, and they do so. from the 12, 1st and 10. Give to Robinson. Hesitates and then is drilled in the middle of the field by Logan Arns and about 4 other Raiders. Austin Tappy in on the pile, Blake Hilgenbrink. And another defender for the Raiders in on the play was, I was going to say 67, but he's not on my program. So a 2-yard gain for Robinson. Brings up 2nd and 8 from the 10-yard line of QND. Rockford Lutheran inside the red zone leading 7-6. Horton will give it to Robinson. No, Horton keeps it, and that was the wrong decision. He fumbles it, and it's out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Horton ran the zone read, faked it to Robinson, tried to turn the corner. There were 3 Raiders out there with Horton, and as Horton tried to step out of an ankle tackle, he got hit right on the ball. It just fell to the turf and crawled out of bounds. And they're going to say it's at the 15, so a loss of 5. So it will be 3rd down and about 13 for Lutheran. Horton takes the snap, double pumps, now fires towards the corner in the end zone, has a receiver open. Interference called on QND, I believe, yes. They're going to call the interference on Parker Kinsel as he was beaten on the play and he tried to recover, and the intended receiver, Tim Kohler, just stopped, and Kinsel, trying to make the defensive play, ran into Kohler, and they're going to call pass interference in the end zone as the 2 officials talk it over. Some of the QND parents screaming about a homer call, but you could kind of see that coming because Parker Kinsel was hustling after he was beaten initially by the receiver. Broken coverage by QND, and Kinsel just trying to make a hustle play. The ball was underthrown, and Kinsel just ran into Kohler, and the pass falls incomplete. And the official had troubles getting the flag out, but he finally did. And I will think this is half the distance to the goal. It'll be 1st and goal for Rockford Lutheran from about the 8-yard line. And they're going to put it at the 6. Oh, it's not on that 1st down. That's right. It's going to be 3rd and about 4 for Rockford Lutheran from the Raiders 6. 4th penalty on QND. Horton in the spread. Actually a pistol formation with Robinson behind Horton. Horton takes, gives to Robinson. Robinson has the corner turned, and he will take it to the house. That was just a very good scheme set up by Rockford Lutheran as they ran the pistol with Robinson kind of hiding behind Horton. And once Robinson took the handoff and headed left, they had it sealed off, and James Robinson heads to the end zone untouched from about 6 yards out. So Rockford Lutheran with their 2nd touchdown of the ball game. And the Crusaders lead at 13-6 here with 9:25 left to go in the 1st half. Attempting the extra point will be Adam Pearson. So James Robinson, who had 39 touchdowns last season, picks up his 1st rushing touchdown of the season this year. Some movement on the line, some contact on the right side of the offensive line. QND pointing towards Rockford Lutheran, and they're going to say that the penalty was on QND, I believe. There'll be a 1.5 yard penalty. So the Raiders just getting penalties called, and some folks who are rooting for the blue and gold think these calls are kind of cheap. So a shorter extra point attempt out of the hold of Nate Weeding. Snap back ball down, and Pearson kick is good. Much better kick this time than his 1st attempt at the other end zone. 14-6, Rockford Lutheran leads QND. 9:25 left to go 1st quarter. Back in 30 seconds here on WTAD and QJTV.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Lipman.
Clouds to the west. It's a 14-6 Rockford Lutheran lead with 9:25 left to go in the 1st half here. Lutheran just taking advantage of a short punt by QND. Had a short field to work with of about 48 yards and took it to the end zone. A pass interference penalty on QND certainly helped, and Jalen Horton fumbled on a quarterback keep to the far sideline, and the ball just would not stay in bounds before the Raider defender could get to it. It just creeped over the sideline out of bounds. So a couple of bad breaks there for QND. Pearson will kick it off. And back deep, Dalen Anders, Parker Kinsel, and another Raider back there to help out. That's Grant Carper. Ball on the tee. The Lutheran student body bouncing up and down on the bleachers to the far side. And a lot of patience being shown here by the Crusaders before they kick this ball off. And it's a kick towards the left side. Carper looks like he has a beat on it and takes it at about his own 10. Grant Carper has it to the 20 and actually will get it to the 20-yard line. So Carper took it at the 10, picked up about 10 yards on the return. It'll be 1st and 10 QND from their own 20-yard line. So right now, Lutheran is winning the starting field position battle here tonight handily. They've started 2 drives inside the Raider side of the 50-yard line. And QND, their best starting field position would have been the 34, except there was a penalty called. So I believe QND's best starting field position has been the 24-yard line, their own 24. One drive, QND started at their own 2 after a penalty. So the Raiders will turn the tables now, and they'll go 2-by-2 out of the spread. Sidecar left is Dalen Anders, Max Venverlo, the quarterback. Venverlo takes the snap, looks right, throws right, and the pass is complete, and the receiver immediately tackled by the Lutheran defense. Making the catch that time was Carson Kroshinski. And Kroshinski will pick up about 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 for QND. And a lot of cushion given by the defense that time at Rockford Lutheran, but an immediate hit on Kroshinski once he made the catch. So a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 for QND from their own 28-yard line. 2 completions for 12 yards and an interception for Max Venverlo here. 2 out of 4. 2-by-2 the spread. Anders will go in motion, come towards the near sideline, leaving an empty backfield. Venverlo, high snap, doesn't go after the ball well, and it's recovered by Rockford Lutheran. A high snap off the right hand of Max Venverlo, and he was very casual trying to get the ball back. And Lutheran was able to pounce on it, and they take over at the Raider 21-yard line. So Venverlo has a pass intercepted here, and he has fumbled a snap. It wasn't the best snap, but Max Venverlo failed to make a good adjustment on it, and then got the ball tangled up in his own feet. And Rockford Lutheran has a short field to work with yet again from the Raider 21, 1st and 10. Horton takes the snap, looks to throw, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit Streeter, who comes up a little bit lane. And Grant Turpin nailed Horton just as Horton let the ball go. So an incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10 for Rockford Lutheran. Trying to take advantage of the fumble by QND out of the spread. At the 21-yard line of QND, Lutheran with a 14-6 lead has the ball. They go 3-by-1. Robinson sidecar right. Not the best execution of the play, and Turpin will sack Horton. Ben Welper back to help as well, and a 20-yard loss, or excuse me, a 12-yard loss on the play as Jalen Horton is sacked by the law firm of Turpin and Welper. And now a timeout called by Rockford Lutheran. It's their 2nd timeout. We'll keep it right here. So a loss of 12. As that play developed, it seemed like the offense for Lutheran was unsure of when the play was supposed to start on what snap count. Disjointed from the outset, and then good pressure from Turpin and Welper sack Horton for a 12-yard loss, and it will be 3rd and about 21 for Rockford Lutheran. They started at the 21. They need to get to the 11, and the ball's at the 32. 8:14 left to go in the first half, and it is 14-6, Rockford Lutheran leading. QND's touchdown and interception return by Ben Welper. As Rockford Lutheran tried to run a middle screen deep inside their own territory, and Welper just reached up, plucked the ball out of the air, and had less than 10 yards to run into the end zone for the defensive touchdown. The extra point was missed because of a bad snap. So it is 14-6, Rockford Lutheran leads as Lutheran scored their last offensive possession, a short yardage possession, if you will, less than 50 yards on the scoring drive. So after the Lutheran timeout, their second of the half, they come out with an empty formation, 3 receivers near side, 2 to the far side. Jalen Horton takes the snap. Looking near side, steps inside the pass rusher and takes off. He will not, well, he sidestepped one man, but will be knocked down outside the 20-yard line. And it will be 4th and about 10 for Rockford Lutheran. Horton did a good job to make one man miss, but there were just too many white shirts there. Too much traffic for Horton to try and get the first down, but he picked up the yards lost on the previous play. Gets the ball to about the 22, and it's 4th and about 11 for Rockford Lutheran. So Rockford Lutheran will go for it here on 4th and about 11. Sidecar left is Robinson. 3 receivers split to the far side, ball in the near hash. Horton looking. Has the happy feet, fires, the pass is complete to Robinson. He's going to get the first down and come down the near sideline and sidestep a defender and score. Again, a disjointed look by the Rockford Lutheran offense. Their offensive line is not reacting well to snap counts, but James Robinson's athletic ability, as he caught the pass from Horton, who was scrambling to avoid defenders in the backfield, just got it to Robinson, and Robinson did the rest. And it's a 22-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Horton to James Robinson, and it's the 3rd touchdown of the half for Rockford Lutheran. (20-6), Rockford Lutheran leads, and Pearson will try and make it 21. Snap back, ball down, kick is up, and it's good. 21-6, Rockford Lutheran leads QND back in 1 minute here on WTAD and QJTV.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
Crusaders lead Quincy Notre Dame 21-6, 7:20 left to go in the first half. Tim Kincher with you on this Friday evening. And Rockford Lutheran has taken advantage of short fields tonight for 3 of their touchdowns. All 3 of their touchdowns, I should say. Pearson with the kick. It's a short, wobbly, bouncing kick that will go out of bounds, and QND will take over after the ball goes out of bounds, untouched by the Raider return team. So a penalty on Rockford Lutheran, which may give QND their best starting position of this first half. That's been a big part of it. QND has punted the ball 2 times, and both punts have been less than 20 yards. Throw in an interception and a fumble by QND, and that's resulted in only 1 of Rockford Lutheran's possessions starting inside their own territory, inside their half of the 50-yard line. So 1st and 10 QND from their own 35 after the kick goes out of bounds. Max Vemberlo heads back into the ballgame for QND. Still 31 minutes left in this game. See if the Raiders can get an offensive touchdown and get some positive feelings back in their own heads. Out of the eye, they run the counter, and Beverlo fell down, handing the ball off to Anders, and Anders has to lean forward and hope he gets back to the line of scrimmage. So Beverlo took the snap, turned, tried to hand off to Anders, and Anders barely got the handoff and barely got back to the line of scrimmage, and there's a Raider player down with his right leg extended into the air. So I have to assume this is a cramped situation. And it is a cramped situation, our first of the evening. Rockford Lutheran 21, QND 6, and they will send water out for both ball clubs on this warm evening here in Rockford, Illinois. So a 25-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Horton to Nate Weeding on the first Rockford Lutheran possession. And then a 6-yard run by James Robinson on a short possession for Rockford Lutheran. And then a touchdown pass on 4th down as Williams helped his quarterback who was scrambling. And Horton was able to find Williams. Williams sidestepped a couple of defenders and took it into the end zone down the near sideline. So Jalen Horton hasn't looked very comfortable for Rockford Lutheran, but he has 2 touchdown passes. So right now, special teams are not helping the QND Raiders. Their 2 punts have been short, and the extra point attempt was missed because of a bouncing snap. And Rockford Lutheran is doing all the things correctly here this evening, although they've been disjointed on offense. If you're watching on Quincy Journal TV, and if you're not, you can watch this game live on QuincyJournal.com and go to QJTV and click on the icon. But it just seems like the offensive line for Rockford Lutheran is not working as a unit, but they're still getting positive plays. Raider lineman has come off the field, and QND's trying to set up a screen to Anders. He makes the catch, and he's immediately tackled behind the line of scrimmage as a slow developing screen, and it was pretty obvious what the Raiders were trying to do, so the Lutheran defense did a good job to just peel back a read and tackle Anders for a 4-yard loss on the attempted screen. So it will be 3rd and 14 for QND from their own 31-yard line. And again, they're really having problems spotting the ball and making sure they have the right down and distance. Oh, they called a penalty. They called a penalty on Rockford Lutheran. A flag laying on the far side of the field I didn't see. And it's a 15-yard penalty and gives the Raiders a 1st down. So a huge break for QND. It's a 15-yard penalty on Lutheran. Takes it to the Raider 46-yard line and gives the Raiders their 2nd 1st down of this ballgame. So a screenplay that lost 4 yards turns into a 15-yard gain for the Raiders on the flag on Rockford Lutheran. So 1st and 10 Raiders from their own 46. QD has to take advantage of this. If nothing else, string together some positive plays so they have a positive attitude. I formation, receiver split to both sides, ball in the far hash. Memberlo turns and fakes, still has it. Memberlo looking to go deep, fires over the middle, intercepted. Intercepted by Rockford Lutheran, and nothing but green grass for the return man, who is number 12. That is Nick Brigham, and Brigham will take it to the house. Only one receiver for QND running that pattern, and Brigham read the play, cut in front of the receiver, and he really only had 2 defenders to beat, and he was able to beat both of those defenders, and it's about a 60-yard interception return for Mr. Brigham, and a touchdown for Rockford Lutheran. 2nd interception that Max Memberlo has thrown, and this is not the start that Max Memberlo had in mind beginning his senior year. He is now 3 out of 6 with 2 interceptions. 3rd turnover on QND. Brigham with the interception return. It was about 60 yards, maybe even a little bit further than that. But Brigham made a nice read on the play, cut in front of the receiver, and Brigham took it to the house. He really only had to sidestep one man, as Rockford Lutheran did a nice job of transition from defense to offense. Snap back, ball down. Pearson's extra point attempt is good. Not nearly as thumped in as the early ones, but Pearson still gets the ball over the crossbar for the extra point. 28-6. Rockford Lutheran leads QND. Back in 1 minute. You're on WTAD and QJTV.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Illinois at Lutheran High School, where the host Crusaders, the number 2 team in the preseason Class 4A poll, lead the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders by the score of 28-6. Tim Kinshirf with you on this Friday evening. And Mr. Pearson will put it back in play, and he will hit a propeller kick to the far sideline, and it will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Oh, no, they say it went out of bounds. No, it is a touchback. The referee in the middle of the field, apparently, because of the dusk lighting, could not track that ball as it got near the pylon on the far sideline. It is out of bounds, or is through into the end zone for a touchback. It will be 1st and 10 QND from their own 20. So the Raiders struggling offensively here this evening, have 2 first downs, one of them on a 15-yard penalty on the previous series. But QND right now, Max Vemberlo is 3 out of 6 for 8 yards and 2 interceptions. And one of those interceptions returned for a touchdown. We've had 2 interception returns for touchdowns here tonight, 1 for each team. Raiders go power I, single receiver far side, ball in the middle of the field. 1st and 10, give it to the fullback, and knifing is Parker Kinsel for a short gain. Too much traffic for Kinsel to really get his legs set as he got past the line of scrimmage, but a gain of about 2 for Parker Kinsel. It'll be 2nd and 8 for QND. 28-6, the Crusaders lead it. Plenty of substitutions for QND as both Arns and Kinsel come out. Jordan Obert brings the play in from the sideline to Max Vemberlo. Raiders are back on their heels, trailing 28-6 here. Raiders will go with the single back. That's Dalen Anders, double tight end. Receiver split to both sides. Anders is the deep back all alone. Vemberlo will take the snap. Look one way, fire the other, throws the out pass to Austin Tappy. Tappy immediately wrapped up and brought down for no gain. Actually a loss of maybe 2. Well, let's see. Now it's a no gain reception as Tappy made the catch on the numbers in front of the QND sideline. A good reaction by the Lutheran defense to get out there and just wrap up Tappy before any forward progress could be made. So it'll be 3rd and 8 for QND's offense here. From their own 22, Obert will be split near side. 3 receivers split far side. Sidecar right is Dalen Anders out of the spread for the Raiders. Max Vemberlo takes the snap, will roll right. Anders looking for blocking help. Vemberlo will stand and fire, and it's through the hands of the intended receiver Cornwell, incomplete. So 3 and out for the Raiders. So Vemberlo has attempted 8 passes, has completed 4 of those 8 for 8 yards and 2 interceptions. And it's a 3 and out for the Raiders, and the way the Raiders are punting here tonight, that's no help at all. 2 punts for QND here this evening have gone less than 40 yards combined. Brian Copley will try it again. He's punted twice here this evening, and Connor Daniels punted once. Here's a nice high end overrun kick, and the fair catch made in the backfield by Rockford Lutheran. But still, a line drive kick fielded on the fly on a fair catch, and Lutheran takes over to their own 44. So it's in Lutheran territory, but only by 6 yards. So the turf battle, the hidden yards battle, has definitely been won by Rockford Lutheran in blowout fashion, and it's turning out that way on the scoreboard with the Crusaders leading QND 28-6 with 4:29 left to go here in the first half. And Lutheran will get the ball to start the second half. Jalen Horton will come out in the pistol. James Robinson is the running back. He is behind Horton in this formation. 2 receivers near side. Raiders blitz. They run to Fleefickler. Horton has it, and he just throws it deep. Has a man wide open. He makes the catch, and Streeter will take it to the house. Robinson was behind Horton in the pistol. Took the handoff from Horton, did Robinson. Took 2 quick steps, turned, pitched it back to Horton, who fired to Streeter down the far sideline, and Streeter had 7 yards on the defensive back, made the adjustment, made the catch, and raced untouched into the end zone. And it's 34-6, Rockford Lutheran, here with 4:21 left to go in the first half. 56-yard touchdown gives Horton 111 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. And this is all with their best receiver, Austin Sikora, hurt for middle half the season. He hurt his kneecap in the scrimmage. Pearson's extra point attempt is true. It is 35-6. Rockford Lutheran leading QND. And this is something we haven't seen, except for Jeff City Elias, in many a game here involving the Quincy Notre Dame football Raiders. But Rockford Lutheran, once they got their confidence, they are really taking it to the Raiders and emptying the playbook in the prospects. 35-6, Rockford Lutheran leads QND. And again, Lutheran will get the ball to start half number 2. That was an 8-second possession for Rockford Lutheran. Streeter with the 56-yard touchdown reception from Jalen Horton, who really is, he has 3 touchdown passes, but I wouldn't say he's a scintillating college prospect. It just seemed like the Lutheran offense just isn't in sync, but they're still able to get these explosive plays for touchdowns. Horton on a 4th down play scrambled, kept the play alive, and then found James Robinson, and that's basically all he needed to do. And Robinson did the rest of the work for a 22-yard touchdown pass on a 4th down play. Pearson with a high kick towards the far side. Carper will make the reception inside their own 10. And he starts in the middle of the field, wanted to bounce to the outside and just couldn't do it. Wrapped up inside the Raider 20, and once again, poor field position for QND to start this drive. Put it at the 18-yard line, 1st and 10, QND. So it will be 1st and 10 QND from the 18-yard line. So you wonder if, it looked like QND was nervous at the start because they have such inexperience, even though they have some kids that played a lot last year. But you could just tell they were a little bit slow and tentative at the beginning of this ball game. And Lutheran didn't really start out like a house of fire either. But once they settled in, Lutheran is really taking it to this Raider ball club. 1st and 10 QND from their own 18. They will pitch it wide to Anders. Anders looking for running room, and there's really none there. He just planted his foot and cut up the middle and got 2 yards. Anders has 29 yards on 11 carries. And frankly, folks, I think this is what Dale and Ayers can expect all season long. Because I would think once teams look at tape of QND, they're going to say, if we can make 13 beat us and not 26, we have a better chance of winning the game. It's up to Max Venverlo to make that a silly thought by opposing defenses. So the Raiders go with the I formation here. Hilgenbrink, the fullback, in front of Anders. Receivers split to both sides. Ball in the near hash on 2nd and 8. They fake the counter, and Venverlo's under immediate pressure and throws it away. And that was intentional grounding, and they do throw the flag. So it will be intentional grounding on Max Venverlo. He was under immediate pressure as the linebacker he didn't honor the play at all. He saw the fake to Anders and just charged towards Max Venverlo, met him at the point of the rollout, and Venverlo just tried to check the ball downfield. Now what are they calling? They're calling the penalty on Rockford Lutheran. For what? It's a 15-yard penalty. They call roughing the quarterback? That's the second time tonight Lutheran has been called for a 15-yard penalty, and quite frankly, I didn't see the infraction nor the flag. I saw the flag this time. The referee threw it, and he immediately marked it off against Rockford Lutheran. So QND gets their 3rd first down of the game, and 2 of them have been 15-yard penalties on the Crusaders. So the ball at the Raider 35, 1st and 10. Raiders go spread, 3 by 1 to the receivers, 3 to the far side. Venverlo takes the snap, looking over the middle, fires, and the pass is caught by Copley, and he's able to fall forward for a gain of about 11 and a first down for QND. Copley's first catch. Copley caught the pass in his hands, a good pass by Venverlo, and an 11-yard, actually an 11-yard plus a foot gain on the play, and that's the 4th different receiver to catch a pass here tonight for QND. 1st and 10 Raiders. Out of the spread, Anders will go in motion towards the far side, putting a 3 by 2 situation. Venverlo on the fake, quarterback draw, slips 2 tackles, and he has the first down inside the 45 at about the 42. Pickup of about 11 for Max Venverlo on the quarterback draw. So 2 plays by the Raiders get 10 yards plus, and the Raiders have created 22 yards on back-to-back plays. 28-6 Rockford Lutheran leads. 2:55 left to go first half. Out of the spread, 3 receivers go far side, single receiver near side, LB Cornwell. Sidecar right is Dalen Anders. Beverlo takes the snap, will roll out towards the far side. Trying to get around the on-rushing linebacker. Beverlo will be brought down as he looked to make some sort of fake or run with the ball. He was tracked down from behind by the pursuing linebacker. And because of the black numbers on the purple jerseys and the poor lighting, I couldn't tell you who that was, but it's a loss of about 3 for Max Beverlo and a timeout called by the Raiders. 2:23 left to go first half. It is 35-6. Rockford Lutheran leads. And after 2 gains of 10-plus yards, Beverlo rolled out and tried to make a play. And Dalen Andrews tried to throw a block for Max Beverlo, but Beverlo kept going towards the far sideline, and the linebacker who was coming into pressure just kind of bounced off the Andrews block and continued his pursuit and was able to click Beverlo's ankles and knock down Max Beverlo for a loss of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 14 for QND after the Raiders call their first timeout. Lutheran has used 2 of their 3 first half timeouts. And again, Lutheran will get the ball to start the second half, leading 35-6, but what will the score be at that point? So we'll see if the Raiders don't let that negative play derail a little bit of momentum they created on this drive. Helped out by a phantom 15-yard penalty on Rockford Lutheran. Beverlo rolled out towards the near sideline and basically knew he was going to be sacked and got rid of the ball, and apparently the official thought that after Beverlo got rid of the pass, he was hit unnecessarily by the defender, and he gave the Raiders a roughing the passer penalty and a 15-yard gain and a first down. So with that 15-yard penalty, then 2 11-yard gains, the Raiders gained about 37 yards on 3 plays. Raiders go empty here after the timeout, and Beverlo pump fakes, now fires over the middle, and it's too far, incomplete. Tried to hit Jordan Obert, and the defense for Rockford Lutheran did not bite on the pump fake. Beverlo pumped towards the sideline where Anders was in the vicinity and tried to come back to Jordan Obert, and the cornerback was inside Obert and the safety was over the top, and that pass would have had to thread the needle to be completed, but Beverlo overthrew Jordan Obert, and it will be 3rd and about 14 for QND. 10 passes attempted by Max Beverlo, 19 yards for the Raider quarterback making his first varsity start. 3-by-1 the receivers out of the spread. Anders stayed in the backfield. A slant pass is almost intercepted. The safety is just backing up about 20 yards and waiting for the Raider receivers to cut in front of him. And as soon as he sees the Raider receiver turn and look, the safety is busting towards the ball. And they have 1 interception, which was returned for a touchdown, and nearly had another interception on that play. So after 3 double-digit positive plays, the Raiders can't recover from a 4-yard loss on first down and have to punt it away. Brian Copley will punt it away. He's standing at his own 40. Snap back is true. Copley's punt is high, short, middle of the field, nowhere near, and then it takes a big QND bounce, and it bounced as far as it was in the air. The ball was in the air about 20 yards, and then rolled about 20 more once it hit the turf, which is kind of hard to believe if you think about how much rain they supposedly got here in the Rockford area all week long. So it will be 1st and 10 Rockford Lutheran, and they will have by far their worst starting field position on an offensive possession. Looks like the ball is right at the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 10 for Rockford Lutheran. Crusaders already lead at 35-6 with 1:58 left to go in the first half. It is a 4-touchdown second quarter so far for Rockford Lutheran. Out of the pistol, Horton takes, gives to Williams, and he has room to run up the middle, and then bounces off 2 hits and leans forward and picks up close to first down yardage. Picked up about 9. So Robinson now has 56 yards. 56 yards on 8 carries. He had 6 yards after his first 2. No huddle, quick count. And they wanted to run a Statue of Liberty, and Horton couldn't make connections with Robinson, and Horton is buried by the Raider defense. He got forward a little bit, but I think he took the snap at least 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so I don't think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see. Oh, they're going to give him the first down or not? They do give him the first down. So Horton got about 2 yards, which was barely enough for the first down. And now we're having another discussion. Now the chain gang is having problems setting and stretching. Now they finally get it settled. Out of the spread, it is Robinson up the middle, trying to run through tackles, and the Raiders went for a little bit of a ride, but they corral Robinson after a gain of about, we'll give Robinson 6 yards on the carry. 62 yards now for Robinson, and they're trying to beat the clock here in the final 2 minutes. Horton fires over the middle, high, and off the hands of Copley, incomplete. Overthrew the receiver, Streeter, and Copley had the ball bounce off his forearms. And Brian Copley not happy that he didn't come down with that interception, but an incomplete pass makes it 3rd and about 4 for Rockford Lutheran. 3rd and 4 from about their own 20, make it the 21-yard line. Horton takes the snap. Little flare pass out here to Williams. Stops. Now reverses his field. Looking for a block from his quarterback, Horton. Williams on the dead run. He's going to get the corner turn, and he'll get the first down and be pushed out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Just a little swing pass towards the near sideline. Williams caught it, stopped, took a look, and then completely went around the far corner. He ran the width of the field that time and picked up about 8 yards when it looked like he was wrapped up. Out of the spread, Horton hit and dropped. He wanted to throw the ball, but he couldn't because of the sack by QND's defensive lineman. And we'll get a number here in just a few moments. 67, who's not on the program. He's pretty pumped up about it. He's had a couple of good plays here this evening, but Caleb Hines with the sack there. So after the first down reception by Robinson, the sack of Horton by Caleb Hines puts the ball back almost 10 yards. It'll be 2nd and 20, and I believe Lutheran called their final timeout of the first half. 35-6, Rockford Lutheran leads QND. And it just seems like the Raiders can't string together positive plays on either side of the ball. Raiders' only touchdown of this ballgame was an interception return by defensive lineman Ben Welper. As inside their own 10-yard line, or right outside the 10-yard line, Lutheran tried to run a middle screen, and the pass was overthrown and went right into the hands of Welper, who loped into the end zone untouched for the Raiders' only touchdown of the game. So Jalen Horton has 3 touchdown passes and an interception. So 4 scoring plays, 3 positive, 1 negative for Jalen Horton. Arns shows blitz. He does blitz. Hesitated. Now they run the screen to Williams. Williams makes the catch, but he's hit around the knees as he tried to turn the corner. Luke Frieden over in the area. And another Raider defender also able to help Robinson to the turf. Pickup of about 5 on the play. So 3rd and 15 for Rockford Lutheran. Horton fires over the middle, and it's off the hands of Streeter, incomplete. It will fall to the Raiders, or actually it'll be 4th down for Rockford Lutheran after the incomplete pass. 15 pass attempts for Rockford Lutheran. And they have 3 touchdown passes out of those 15 attempts and an interception return for a touchdown for the Raider defense. So the Raiders hold thanks to that sack of Horton by Caleb Hines. Pearson will punt it away. I believe this is it's definitely the 2nd punt of the evening for Rockford Lutheran, maybe the 3rd. Anders and Kinsel back deep. Pearson takes the snap, and a flag down blows the play dead. Pearson's punt hit short and bounced back towards the Raider goal line, but flag down on the play. I don't think they had enough men on the line of scrimmage. The white hat talking to a Raider captain, and they do indeed mark it off 5 yards. So Lutheran now has taken the penalty lead. They have 5 penalties for 55 yards. Anders standing inside his own 40, really showing a lot of respect to Mr. Pearson here. Pearson standing at his own 15. Snap back is true. Pearson gets the punt away. It's a high kick that will bounce about 15 yards short of Anders. Anders lets it bounce, didn't even get near the ball, and will roll dead at about the 37-yard line. But the clock has run out here in the first half, and Rockford Lutheran leads QND 35-6 at the half. Back in 3 minutes. QND football on QJTV and WTAD.
It's coming to Quincy. It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Lipman. He makes house calls.
Of the 2014 football season, and Rockford Lutheran living up to their number 2 preseason ranking as the Crusaders lead Quincy Notre Dame 35-6. Two positive things happened for QND in the first half. They won the coin flip, and Ben Welper had an interception return for a touchdown. Sandwiched around that was a whole lot of ooh and almost and oh for the QND Raiders, both on offense and defense, and special teams for that matter. First touchdown was scored on the opening drive after QND went 3 and out. Raiders had a short punt, and Rockford Lutheran took over on their side, or actually inside their own 35-yard line. And on third down, it was a pass completion from Jalen Horton to Nate Weeding, a big 6'4" wide receiver for Rockford Lutheran. 25-yard pass play, point after good by number 1, Adam Pearson. And it was 7-0 Rockford Lutheran. The Raiders still couldn't sustain anything on offense, and Rockford Lutheran had the ball, and because of a sack and a penalty, had the ball inside their own 20, did the Crusaders, and they tried a middle screen that was poorly executed. Jalen Horton threw the pass, and Ben Welper picked it off and just kind of lumbered into the end zone. I think I've used 5 different adjectives to describe the way Ben Welper ran it into the end zone, but he ran untouched inside 10 yards. And he scored the only touchdown of the half for QND. The point after attempt was missed because of a bouncing snap. Landon Hemming, the holder, tried to hit Logan Arms in the corner of the end zone, but short hopped the pass. So it was 7-6. Rockford Lutheran stayed that way for the rest of the first quarter, as that scoring play happened with 2:20 left to go in quarter number one. But it was all Rockford Lutheran in the second quarter as the James Williams show took over. Williams had a 6-yard run for a touchdown, then caught a 4th down pass from Jalen Horton, who was scrambling away from Raider defensive lineman, got the ball to Robinson. Robinson made one Raider defender miss, ran through another tackle, and then sidestepped a Raider defender at the goal line to score from 22 yards out. Point after again good, 21-6 for Rockford Lutheran. Then on the next QND possession, Max Beverlow was picked off by the defender for Rockford Lutheran. I'm trying to look up his first name. I can remember his last name. It was Nick Brigham with the interception, and he returned it 60 yards. And it was, at that point, 28-6. Rockford Lutheran led, and that was with 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. And then on a flea flicker, as out of the pistol, Jalen Horton took the snap, handed off to James Robinson. Robinson took 2 steps forward, turned, lateraled the ball back to the quarterback Horton, who found Streeter wide open. About 8 yards of separation between Streeter and the defensive back for QND. And doing the rest was number 19 for Rockford Lutheran, Josh Streeter. And that made the score 35-6 Rockford Lutheran. The last time QND had the ball in the half, they had 3 positive plays in a row, a 15-yard roughing the passer penalty, which was a nickel dimer to say the least. Then an 11-yard pass play and another 11-yard pass play. The Raiders had the ball inside the Lutheran 40, but then a first down sack of Max Memberlow as he tried to roll out to the far side, disrupted the rhythm. 2 more incomplete passes followed, and the Raiders had to punt the ball away to Rockford Lutheran, and they could not do anything in the final 90 seconds or so of the first half. But the Crusaders, leading 35-6 here at the half, will get the ball to start half number 2. 35-6, QND trails Rockford Lutheran. We'll be back in 3 minutes. This is Raider football on QJTV and WTAD.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
Oh, that story looks good. Let me click that link. What? Locked? Pay site? Why do they link stories that I can't see? I'm not paying for that.
All of your online news at your fingertips is free on QuincyJournal.com. Quincy Journal also has a mobile site that fits your smartphone perfectly. And have you taken a peek at QJTV? QND Lady Raiders, Quincy High Blue Devils, QND Raiders games and more, live on QJTV. For the latest in politics, community news, and more, free every day, it's QuincyJournal.com.
Saturday morning at 9:30 on WTAD. Experience the latest episode of The Watchmen. 4 men on the clock, reducing the week's events to their essence. Entertainment, politics, sports, media, whatever is pushing the meter locally, regionally, universally. Ryan Nichols, Sean Seacrease, Bob Goff, and Quinn. The Watchmen. Podcast available online at WTAD.com.
Crusaders lead this ball game 35-6 at the half. According to the scoreboard, there's less than a minute to go in the half, and they'll put at least 3 more minutes on the clock. But they only put 10 minutes on the clock to begin with. And standard operating procedure is a 15-minute half. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here in Rockford. Things have not exactly gone smoothly through this game. The officials are certainly in their first game of the season. The chain gang is definitely in their first game of the season. And really, Rockford Lutheran, even though they lead 35-6, there's been times when they've looked like they just found out what football is and what they're supposed to do with it. So, but still, somehow, some way, the Lutheran Crusaders lead this ballgame 35-6. We're going to step aside. You don't need to listen to me ramble on all during halftime. We're going to step aside for 2 minutes and turn things over to the Fox Sports folks and get you updated on what's going on in the world of national sports. And we'll be back in 2.5 minutes. And possibly we will have the start of the second half here from Rockford Lutheran High School. The Crusaders lead Quincy Notre Dame 35-6. You're listening to Raider Football on QJTV and also WTAD.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.